Hey there, this is Lisa, and I'm coming to you live from Art and Soul in Hampton, Virginia. And today is day 3, and I'm going to give you a recap. I'll show you some of the things I did yesterday, as well as some of the stuff I did in my class today. And lucky for me, tonight is vendor night, so I don't have a class, which I'm really, really happy about because I'm tired. It's hard to stay focused and continue doing things and staying up past the time you normally go to bed in in a class. So that's me, lame person that likes to go turn the lights off and go to bed at 9:30, 9:45 at the latest. So okay, here were some of the paintings that I did yesterday in the Painting with Acrylic Glazes class. And that was really fun. This was my second painting, and the challenge for me was not using white, as I think I mentioned on the blog earlier today. And then at the end of the class, she said, "Oh, I meant you can use white. You can use white." And the people at my table were like, "What? If we would have known that, our stuff wouldn't have been so extremely bright." But I was still really happy with the way things came out. And Diana Trout was the instructor, and she's really laid back. And my favorite part, and a lot of other people's favorite part, was just slathering on the gesso on top of the canvas or the canvas panel, and then using a charcoal pencil and just drawing into it. And then if you just mess up, you just coat it over with some more gesso. But it was just really neat because some of the charcoal still stays around, and you get that sort of blended charcoal look, which I love. I love that. So let me show you some of the other things. Today I took a plaster class, and I think it was called Art Excavation. And well, it's not going to look very good, but the cool thing is you'll get to see what it looks like today, and then you'll get to see what it looks like after the wax kind of clears up and is not so cloudy. So basically, we had plaster that we poured into some wood box substrates. They were frames, and carved into it using woodworking tools, and painted on it. I didn't use acrylic paints. I gave myself a challenge of she had showed us the instructor was Stephanie Lee, and she showed us how to use pastels, chalk pastels, and just shave a little bit of it off with an X-Acto knife, and then just wet it, and then use it to add color to the plaster. So I gave myself the challenge, since I had never done that, to do that. So I stepped away from the paint. A little not so happy with the colors. They were so pale and pastel and so cheerful and happy, and I was kind of going for something maybe a little more meaningful. So I was very inspired by one of the paintings that one of the girls did in my class yesterday, and that I started drawing and didn't end up putting on my canvas. So today I put it on my plaster. So it looks pale and cloudy right now because it has a layer of beeswax on it. But once that clears up, I'll show it to you again, and you can see the difference. So it's neat. It has a lot of texture from carving into it. So that was fun. Something I had never done. So far, that was my favorite class, just because it was totally new, and I love learning new things. And this was a canvas panel that we taped around the edges and poured plaster of Paris into it, and then carved into it with the wood tools. So I'll eventually paint this. Then I also just have, this is what it looks like all taped up. This is, as you can see, a canvas panel, a 4x5 canvas panel. And I haven't taken the tape off the edge. So this is just plain, ready for me to carve something into it, and I find a place to put that. And then I also have another one that's 6x6 that's plain, ready to carve into. And then I was sitting at a table with people that had a lot of metal. They usually do assemblage, however you pronounce that. And so they had a lot of cool things to take casts of using some Sculpey clay. So they let me borrow some of it because it doesn't use up the item in the process. So you're just taking an imprint of it. So here's some cool things. And then keys. I love keys. And I love teapots. And someone had a cute little salt and pepper shaker teapot. And then you can embed this in plaster. I have some plaster at home, but I just haven't used it yet. And so you can make it look like as if it's embedded in there, as if you sculpted it out of the plaster. So we'll try that when I get home. And then this was a cool piece of plastered burlap. So it's plaster Paris, but it's on burlap, and then I painted it over it and washed it off with some Payne's Gray, some heavy body golden acrylic. And so those were the projects from today. So the cool thing is I have a lot of stuff that I can still work with that's not totally finished. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm going to show you some stuff that I bought at the store, at the little Art and Soul store. They had these cute little hangers, and I bought 3 of them, because what I think I'm going to do is paint on some flat canvas panels and do, 3 of them, and then hang them up on the wall next to each other. So I thought that would look really cool. What else did I get? I'm not going to show you stuff I bought that I might give my kids as their gifts, because if they watch this, then the surprise will be gone. So they had some Jenny Bolin Studio stuff. And so I bought some of these brown little note cards, these die-cut journaling cards. I bought the Heidi Swapp Ghost Bird Mask. And I think that might be about it. Oh, and then here, more stuff to share. Here's the yoga that I did this morning. I did a little of Rodney Yee, intermediate yoga, before he started doing headstands and handstands and stuff. I still can't do a handstand, and I can't do a reverse triangle, but I love the regular triangle. That's my absolute favorite pose, and I can't get enough of that. In fact, if I'm in a yoga class and they don't do that pose, I get upset. I'm like, how can you have a yoga class and not do that? I don't get it. So that's it. I have plaster all over me. Should not have worn black. And I was conditioning some of the white clay, and to get it nice and warm, I put it underneath my arm, and so now it looks like I have, you can't see, but it looks like I have deodorant marks on the outside of my jacket, which I don't. They're not deodorant marks. They're clay. They're clay. So don't do that if you have white clay. Do it on a white shirt or something like that. I think that is it. I think I'm going to munch on some popcorn until the restaurant opens, because that doesn't open until 5. Oh, that's only 5 minutes from now. And then the vendor fair starts at 7, and I'm going to go there and see all the good yummy stuff that there is, and I'll try to take pictures if I remember to bring my camera, and I'll post them to the blog. And that's it. So I hope you guys are having fun, and I appreciate your comments, and if you've written me an email, I will get back to you when I have time to check my email and think about it and write stuff. So have fun. Thanks for listening. Bye.